Bob.
Woo!
Beautiful shot.
Boy, don't lose that one.
I ain't
bet
gonna lose it.
That's the big one of the day.
Oh my goodness. Hi, I'm Bob Redfern, the host of Bob Redfern's Outdoor Magazine TV series. I'm excited to bring you a three-part feature series focusing on the Browning Citori over and under shotgun. Part 1 is going to feature the history and background, and in Part 2 I'm going to discuss the early development years, and Part 3 will focus on Browning's newest edition, the Citori 725. Firstly, many of you may not know that the renowned Browning Citori over and under has long been the benchmark by which we have come to judge fine sporting shotguns. Built to the most exacting standards with the finest materials available, the Browning Citori offers custom gun quality handwork at a factory gun price. Secondly, what you may not know is that the inventive genius of John M. Browning was responsible for the over and under shotgun as we know it today. For centuries, the side-by-side shotgun was the standard shotgun format, due in great part to the requirements of the primitive flintlock and percussion ignition systems. Even when fixed ammunition became commonplace, the side-by-side barrel layout was retained as most shooters were very familiar with it. In the early years of the 20th century, John Browning was a member of the nationally ranked 4B's trap shooting team, which included Gus Becker, A.P. Bigelow, and John's own brother, Matt. You know, being a top flight shooter himself, John Browning realized that stacking the barrels, one above the other, allowed him to see the bird or the clay target precisely aligned along a single sighting plane. Thus, he began his work on the original over and under shotgun in the early 1920s. John called it the superposed because the barrels were stacked or superimposed atop one another. Browning applied for patents for his design beginning in 1923, and a U.S. patent was granted in early 1926. His original superposed design was nearing completion when he suffered a fatal heart attack in late November of 1926 at the Fabrique Nationale factory in Herstal, Belgium. After the elder Browning's death, the final refinements on the superposed design were completed by his son Val, an exceptional gun designer in his own right. The superposed was first produced by Fabrique Nationale in 1930, and it first appeared in the Browning catalog in 1931. You know, in fact, Gus Becker of the 4B's trap shooting team appeared on the cover of that catalog shooting the new Browning over and under shotgun. The original FN-made superposed shotgun showcased double triggers. Over time, Val Browning continued to refine his father's design to use a single trigger, and later, a single selective trigger, which allowed the shooter to use the tang safety to select which barrel he fired first. Back in the days of fixed choke barrels, the ability to instantly select which choke barrel constriction best matched the target array was a huge advantage. In addition, not having to move the trigger finger from one trigger to another let the shooter totally focus on hitting the target. Over more than 3/4 of a century, the number of superposed shotguns produced by FN is numbered in the hundreds of thousands, and the original B-25 superposed design is still available on special order from the FN Custom Shop in Herstal, Belgium. Stay tuned for future video features as I'm going to continue our discussion of the development of the Browning Citori over and under shotgun and how it inspired the modern day stacked shotgun that I use on my outdoor TV series.